Welcome, everybody. We're at the Lighthouse today. I'm excited to report with our second episode of Leaders in Motion. And we're here with Anne Montgomery, a professor in the Good Friends School of Business and the director of the Lighthouse, and one of the early architects that helped make this all happen, which is really incredible. And we're talking to Anne about how this got started, its purpose, and what we're trying to do here. And you've just done an amazing job, Anne. I remember just not too long ago, this was actually a tire storage facility. And look at it now with the co-working space and all the space that we have. Can you talk a little bit about the genesis of this program and how you made it all happen?
Sure, I appreciate the opportunity. I always love to talk about the Lighthouse. And I guess when I think about when this started, 2017, I want to say, with the gift from Dr. Goodfriend for the School of Business with the emphasis of growing entrepreneurship. And so at that time, as we sat around the table as a faculty, I raised my hand and said, I want to be involved because I come from a small business background. My dad had his own business for many years. So I wanted to be involved in that. I believe in entrepreneurship. I feel like it's what has fueled this country. And so I wanted to be involved. So we started really that summer doing research. Dr. Maddox and I, we went and visited different schools, went to conferences. And what we found everywhere we went at the campus level was typically a programming like majors and minors in entrepreneurships. Then also entrepreneurship centers and student-run ventures. So we started tackling adding entrepreneurship into our curriculum. We had a course, but then we went on and developed the minor. But then what ended up happening as that was coming about, the community through our Business Advisory Council found out what we were doing in terms of entrepreneurship, realizing they had some goals in that area as well. And it just we came together and the collaboration began. I want to say late 2017, that December, and just started moving from then on. And the community has been very helpful, the collaborative relationships and helping finding funding that we needed from private foundations, from the local governments, city and county, the state level. And it's just kind of grown from there. So we are an entrepreneurship center, co-working space. We want to be kind of the hub of entrepreneurial activity in the Athens, McMinn County area. One
of the things that has been really incredible is the way that you've pulled together the community to be a part of the success that you're having here. And because to do this as a program kind of set aside just part of the university doesn't have as much impact. But the idea that you're helping community folks as well as students who might have an entrepreneurial bent is really, really terrific. And it's a way we can serve the community, and you're doing it every day, and we appreciate that. Talk a little bit about some of the programming that you did at the beginning. I learned about some of the different programs. I get all the flyers where you're doing something about accounting or insurance and all the things that somebody who has an interest in starting a business needs to know about. Talk a little bit about some of that programming.
Yes, starting out, we try to just focus on workshop education we would open it to our students, we would open it to the community, and did a lot of that in person. But now that we did co-starters, that's something to mention. That's a well-known branded, take an idea to a business plan program, and we offer it to our students within a course on campus, but we also open that up to the community. So we've had some community members come be a part of that. But now that we are dealing with the global pandemic, we've had to move a lot of that programming online. So we now have a program called Meet the Professionals. Lisa Dotson serves as our associate director here at the Lighthouse, and she's also the Main Street director. So she has really good connections with the local business community. So she surveyed them and said, we want to help. We want it. What can we do? And they want the education. They want those business tips in different areas, but they needed it in a way that they could access at any time. And so that's why we've developed this Meet the Professional series. They can go to our website, watch videos. We've got local experts in human resources, marketing, accounting, legal tips. and they can watch those, and then once they do that, they're able to then contact Lisa and set up a free 30-minute consultation with that particular expert. And then we fund that through some of our grant funds. So it's been a great thing to be a part of, and the community's responding to it. One of the things we got kicked off before the pandemic was a group of women entrepreneurs. We gathered together. We had 30 women show up for that.
Wow.
And so we're looking forward to getting back to where we can have those meetups and bring people together. But for right now, we're working the best we can in a virtual environment.
And talk a little bit about your outreach to youth. That's been really exciting, what you've done with the local kids, because that's really where entrepreneurship often begins, is when people have an idea as a younger person, and you're trying to bring that idea alive. Talk a little bit about what you're doing with youth.
Yes, we have 2 programs for targeting youth. This will be our 3rd summer with the Spark Camp, and so that's geared toward middle school students. And the first year we were able to do it in person. The second year we did it virtually. But what was neat about making that change to virtual is we increased our reach, and we had 30 students, 4 different states and 2 countries. We had a Canadian student,
neat.
Found out about it.
It's international.
It's international program, absolutely. But they, get to explore their ideas, and they're really innovative naturally. I think, youth.
Yes.
That's not been tapered for them, and it's good to see. So we were able to do that. We're hoping we'll do that again this summer. We partner with Launch Tennessee to be able to provide a college intern that runs that program for us. And then this spring, we're launching the LITE Institute, which is geared toward high school sophomores and juniors. And what we did, we took a program that used to be here in Athens called McMinn Tomorrow, and the chamber had run that program for years. And when it went away, we kind of missed having that. I know my oldest daughter took part in that. My youngest was not able to because the program wasn't there. So Lisa Dotson and I have reworked it to where it still has the elements of them getting to know the community, but then an entrepreneurial focus as well. So we'll start that next week at the end of February. And so it'll be 10 students coming, being a part, learning about their community, but also learning basic entrepreneurship principles. So we're excited to bring that back to the community.
What a rich resource for the community if you think about it. Talk a little bit about kind of your message for budding entrepreneurs. I'm fascinated by youth at this time. Is really a movement across the country with young people who are interested in starting a website, selling products, selling services, just much more with this generation because of the internet. And I just think the entrepreneurial spirit is really alive in this country. Talk a little bit about your message to budding entrepreneurs who might be in this community or might be coming to Tennessee Wesleyan.
Right. I think to sum it up, I'm always like, try it, right? You don't know until you try it. What we're trying to cultivate within our students that take part in the programming is a entrepreneurial mindset, we call it.
Yep.
And part of that is learning from failure. It's okay to try it and it not work. So it has been encouraging to see the number of student entrepreneurs that have come out. They've been there. I don't take credit that we've created them necessarily, but we're encouraging them to get involved. Several students involved in apparel, different types of apparel businesses, creative crafts and such. We've got students that do yard work, landscaping, have substantial businesses in that area, fly fishing. I mean, it's been really exciting. And there's not really a cookie cutter plan that you can just hand to someone if this is how to start a business.
Right.
It really takes a lot of individual personalization working, because every business is different. Every industry is going to be different. So we do connect our students that have their businesses with the Small Business Development Center. Jenny DeCook and Ann Zach have been a great resource. That's a free resource open to not just our students, but the local business community. So when we know that someone's trying to get something off the ground, we work with them, but then we also connect them with other resources.
Fantastic. Talk a little bit about the cubicles here. You added these early on. And then, of course, you have the whole center, which is Workspace. What a great opportunity. Many of us, if we're going to start a business, we might start it in our basement, for example, and work from home. And that comes with some challenges. in distractions. So coming here and being with other entrepreneurs is a nice opportunity. Talk a little bit about the space here and how it is used and how you designed it and that kind of thing.
Okay, great. Yes, we wanted the space to be flexible because that was, what as we visited, we found out it needed to be a flexible space. So we have meeting space that people can have workshops and gather. But then we've really been successful with our small private office, semi-private office that people can rent at a very low price, $249 for the month. They get access to the internet. They have printing services. And so it's been a great way for remote workers that want to get out of the house because, like you said, there's challenges with being in your home and trying to get things done.
Right.
But it's for those that travel and they don't need necessarily a permanent space all the time. The open space is where someone can rent just what we call a hot seat. They can just have access. It's 24/7 access. So they can come work it when it's best for their business, when it's best for their work style. So the co-working space, we're seeing that start to take off, even in the midst of a pandemic. And we keep everything here by CDC guidelines, social distance. We've halved our capacity to 50% based on that, and then follow all the guidelines of mask in the open areas and such.
Sure. What a great resource. Thank you for your leadership in making this happen for our community. And I'm excited about the way that you've involved students. There are students who work here. You do some classes here. You've created some new classes in entrepreneurship and some concentrations and a minor, and really brought kind of the whole community together around entrepreneurship. And what a great resource and great leadership. I've always admired you and your work in nonprofits. I know you've started a business, plus you work here. I don't know when you sleep exactly. It's pretty amazing, Anne. Thank you for all that you do for us. Appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us, and appreciate Anne to be here for the interview and to learn more about the Lighthouse. So until next time, have a terrific week.